Senator Susan Collins late today, announcing she is now a no on the Graham-Cassidy legislation. She becomes the fourth Republican to publicly state opposition to the measure. Tax reform now the next item on the Trump GOP agenda, or at least the legislative agenda. President Trump traveling to the Indiana State Fairgrounds this Wednesday. There he will unveil a new tax reform plan crafted by the so-called Big Six. Sources telling Fox News the president's consultation with Steve Mnuchin, his Treasury Secretary, and economic advisor Gary Cohn will continue right up to his speech. There's the Big Six. We'll just call them the Six. Can we do that? My next guest isn't willing to support the tax reform plan until he gets some idea of what might be in it. He's voiced concerns that it may not cut rates enough to produce robust growth in the economy. Joining me now, Congressman Dave Brat, member of the Freedom Caucus. He also serves on the House Budget Committee. Congressman, great to have you with us. Let's start with this tax reform.
Yep.
Just as it appears, the efforts to repeal and replace again are dying in the U.S. Senate. Your reaction?
Yeah, well, so we just got to get it right this time. We did a face plant on health care because it started off we're going to get free markets and competition across state lines, et cetera. And that was the promise. That was in the Better Way agenda. That's what President Trump promised. But by the end of the process...
Oh, my gosh. Did you mention the Better Way agenda?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, my Lord. The reason I'm reacting at Speaker Ryan's nonsense that he conjured up better than a year ago and wanted to make a contest of it with the president. We agree that both are right now. Where are they?
The Better Way, we didn't even get close to the Better Way by the time it went through the Senate and then ended up in a skinny bill. So on tax right now, the Big Six is saying all the right things, and that's a good thing. So I'm going to say that, right? The corporate rate, 15. Trump wants the House 20. And then the S-corps, that's the big deal, the small business pass-through entities. We want to be within 5 percentage points, right? So if you get a 20% corporate rate, then all the small businesses back home get a 25.
I got to stop you.
Yeah.
I got to stop you. There hasn't been a committee hearing on that legislation. There hasn't been a single instance of leadership. I mean, we're looking at polls that say they don't like, that folks just don't like it. The Republican version, nobody even knows what it is, for crying out loud.
Yeah, no, I'm taking flack on that every which way, right? I'm taking flack. Why don't you write the bill? Why don't you do this, that, and the other thing? I wish I could. And so,
well, what happened to so-called regular order? I've seen a lot of talk about, I heard a lot of talk about regular order. And by regular order, let me define regular order in my view.
Yeah.
What it means are committee hearings and people actually knowing what the heck they're voting on.
Right.
Who we sent to Washington to put together public policy, not, reach for pigs in a poke.
Yep. And so that's missing on tax primarily because once they unveil this thing on Wednesday morning, K Street is going to go into an all-out lather, as you can expect. So then...
Why don't you run those people out of town, just out of curiosity?
We're going to try.
K Street forms your knowledge base in Congress and the Senate.
Yep.
Why don't you get them out of town, spend all of the money you can, appropriate it, so you've got research assistants, so you've got people who are expert in health care, in tax reform, and you actually know what you're doing. I mean, you're a former professor of economics.
Oh, yeah,
you could be giving sessions every morning before you get to work legislating.
You got it right. And so this will be the test. If the Speaker and the President and Mitch don't stand up to K Street, then it's all over, right? If we lose on health care and then we lose on taxes, and you'll see the loss, right? If those rates go up from 20% to 22 to 25 to 27, then you'll know we're losing. If we hold our ground at 20% corporate, 25% pass-through, good rates, low rates for the individual back home, the forgotten man, right?
Congressman, all of us, we, the great unwashed, the citizenry, we don't have a clue what's going on. We don't have an idea. And by the way, folks in my business are paid to know what's going on, and we know there's nothing going on.
Right.
You got a House Speaker who hasn't got any persuasive power. He has not been campaigning. The President of the United States has said clearly what he wants, and all he's getting, all he gets in response are crickets from the Senate Majority Leader. and the speaker. I mean, this is not a game. This is for crying out loud about the future health of this economy and country.
Yeah, I agree with you. And so let's not forget, health care is not done yet. And so when it comes to leadership,
well, you got four senators. You got four senators gone. I mean, I've heard this. It's not
I know, but this is with
all due respect.
Yeah, the president's got to wait. Yeah, I know. Well, the president needs to weigh in on that package, and then Paul Ryan needs to weigh in.
The president is weighed in. I'm so tired of hearing that. Why don't you go over to Mitch McConnell's office, knock on the door, and see if anybody's home ever?
Let me finish out a thought here, Lou, because I'm with you on all
this. Make it succinct, if you would, sir.
If you're going to take out the swamp, you got to take out the money. And so all these senators, they haven't been removed from a committee yet. They haven't been removed from NRCC.
And
all the funds that flow in.
Be because McConnell's doing exactly what Tom Donahue told him to do.
Yep, you announce that every day about why the American people don't know what's going on. And that's why, because the big money doesn't want you to know. It doesn't want you to know what's in the health care bill.
So what are you guys going to do about it? You're not just victims there. You've got...
Well, I think you know what we did.
Is there any revolution in the heart or soul of any of you?
Yeah, I think you know we took it on the chops pretty good. The Freedom Caucus stopped the first health care bill that didn't do anything to lower prices. And Speaker Ryan made some changes, and just don't count us out yet.
Okay, bottom line, don't count you out yet. I'm going to be honest. I got 1 foot on the line across, counting you out. Congressman, thanks so much.
No, anytime, Lou.
I will try to restore my faith in you all. Thanks so much.
It's coming. Good, you bet.